What is up everybody, Synergy here, and today we are bringing you another episode, I Fall Down, on the Bedrock server. And as you can see, we have done another layer to the house here, and we've got some things inside that have changed, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. What we're also going to show you is what else we've been up to here off camera, and this is just looking very nice so far, but I don't want to give too much away just yet, because we'll come back to that in just a minute. We also set up a little portal here, and this goes to our new Nether hub. It's a work in progress, so it's very basic at the minute, but I have managed to finish my tunnel here, which takes me exactly to where you just saw. And it's nothing simple, just a tunnel you can fly down if you want. And this is our sort of Nether hub. Like I said, it's very plain at the minute, so we're going to need to come back here and do some decorating at some point. But I thought with my tunnel I might as well double it up and make a Nether wart farm just on the side there. It's just nice and convenient out the way. And at the minute I think there's a couple tunnels being dug, but no one's actually moved in yet. I think Mason's started this one, and by the looks of it he's going for a very dark themed tunnel. So down here we have a little bamboo shoot slide thing, whatever you want to call it, scaffolding, and I've put some glass around it and literally just built a little thing down here just to keep people safe when they first get here. So as you know, our portal originally spawned here and it was very dangerous, so now you've got a little lookout where you can sort of see before you go out into the big bad world of the Nether. So I thought that was pretty nice, and he's dying, what a stupid bitch. But yeah, so this is our sort of little Nether hub going on, and this directly links straight to our spawn village here. So if we go through here, because in the last episode we worked on the slime farm, and I said I would finish that off camera. So if we head over here, I can actually show you that that has been done, completed. As you can see, it took a long time to do. I haven't gone all the way down with the wood because for the most part you can't really see it. But as you can see, I've got all the golems in place and I've sort of polished it up a little bit. Put some glass on top here. And like I said in the last episode, there's a little bit of lag there. It is a very efficient farm. It is working very well. Oh no, getting attacked by a drowned. So it is a very cool little farm here. I say little, it is humongous. But that is all working very well. So we also have some new things on the server. This is very new. I have not seen this yet. I guess this is a speed test for horses that Mason's working on, which is very cool. I'll be interested to bring out my horse and try it out. And yeah, so we also have a new person on the server. I'm not quite sure what this is yet. Might be a spoiler alert. But we actually have Ari Dope. She streams over on Twitch, so be sure to go and check her out. And yeah, this is her new house, her starter house. It's looking very nice. And yeah, I quite like this. It's nice design, very good interior. We're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to show you what we've been up to here off camera. So the first thing when we go inside that you'll notice is there is copper everywhere, and I'm trying to get the blue copper or the green copper, turquoise copper, I don't know, this colour copper without the little orangey browny bits in it. So as you can see, a little bit has changed. We finally got a bit of a floor in, and a staircase. This side is a bit of a work in progress. I built this villager breeder, but it doesn't actually work all that great. So I'm going to have to redesign that at some point. And there's actually a third villager in there just chilling. But we are going to be doing some villager stuff over here. For right now, we've just got this guy. He's been cured, but he can get us our food. And we can sell him our melon and pumpkins. And then we've just got this guy helping us out getting the cheap trades. So that's really cool. So I've decided as well to sort of use this smooth sandstone as sort of the walls. And I'm kind of liking it. It's kind of a nice vibe. It goes really well with the black and the brown. And I've also sort of been playing around with having this blue or greeny turquoisey copper as the ceiling on the stairs. I think that looks really nice. And of course we've got the dark glass here so we can see in our spiders falling to their death. Again, we need to clean up the inside of that because it does look a bit messy. But that is a job for another day. So up here we've got another sort of floor. Again, work in progress. We got a lot of this mountain to rip out. And yeah, so we got a lot of that to do. What I did want to do actually is get a little bit of cobble and a little bit of smooth stone. Just to show you the next thing on the floor above, because it took me quite a long time. I did this just last night and I'm really happy with it. So as you can see, I have built some storage silos and I've got the same on the other side, so they're completely mirrored, they're exactly the same. And the only difference being is this side is the input and this side is the output. So anything that doesn't get filtered in this system will end up in this chest here. So I don't know why stone's in there, because stone does get filtered. So this is going to be our bulk storage, and the idea being is here we're going to have our other storage that isn't bulk, so like wood, redstone and all of that sort of stuff. But this is stuff that we're going to get mad quantities of. So we've got our sand, we've got our dirt. For now I've put coarse dirt here, but this can be swapped out for something else in the future. We've got our gravel, cobbled deep slate. And then over on this side is probably the side that's going to be sort of filtered out the most, because we got our granite, our diorite, andesite, and then these two are going to be the main used ones. So as you can see, a light is on both of these. Now when a chest fills up, a light will come on to signify that this chest is full. So if we open that, it's completely full. And then in this one we've got a little bit. Same with this one with our stone. And yeah, so when this one fills up, this light will turn on and signify that we've got two. So we're going to have to do a bit more building outside as well, because we've got this redstone just on show. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe like a tower going up. I think that'll look quite nice. But we've done this so many times now. You know the deal. Hoppers going into this, into a jobber, and that goes up. And I think there might be a way I can get up there if I do some flying skills. And we might be able to actually have a look at what's going on back here. So it looks very complicated. I promise you it is not. It's probably one of the easiest redstone projects I've ever done. It is proper simple. So all we've got here at the top is an item filter. Pretty standard stuff. Filtering what we need. And the top tip, if you're doing item filters, if you just rename the block to filter, that way if a normal bit of stone bricks falls into this system somehow accidentally, it's not going to mess up your farm, okay? So it's going to be beneficial to do that. So it's a little trick I picked up. It will stop all your item filters breaking by accident, especially playing on a server, because you never know if someone's just going to come and dump a load of random crap in that chest, and then it could just totally destroy all of your filters, and you don't want that. So then from there, it just sort of, all the items come up that item elevator and go into this hopper chain. If they don't go down the filter, they carry on through the train. Whoops. And I am breaking stuff already, which is not good. We have a guest. But yeah, so if I come back up here, so anything that doesn't get filtered will end up in this hopper chain, and then that will basically goes all the way around and then wraps into them silos over there. So I can show you that working really quick as well. So if I just come over here and plop that stone and cobblestone in there, and we'll put these tiles in there as well, just to show you that the overflow system does work. And when it's filling up, it does sort of like a disco, and that's just because the items going through the hoppers make the light turn on. So when there's an item in the hopper, the light is on. That is why when this is full, this is lit. That's how that sort of works. And it's just, yeah, it's going to be a nice system. So it's going to be a big storage room. We're going to have lots and lots of storage. And as you can see, that's all gone through the system now. So all them tiled deep slate blocks will be travelling round and going down. And they should be arriving in this chest any minute. There you go. And we should get 10 back. We should get 10 back. I swear we put 10 in there. Maybe it's just a little bit slow. But there you go. So it's just a little bit slow. So that does work, and that is fantastic. As you can see though, we have sort of got this giant hole in a mountain now. And yeah, we've got a lot of stuff up here. So what the kind of plan is to sort of rebuild this mountain down. So it's going to be a big terraforming job. But as you can see at the minute, it's just a massive hole in a cliff. So we want to bring this sort of down and round and over to sort of cover that. I might leave a little bit in the middle just to have sort of a bedroom up there with a nice view of the desert. But that's all still a work in progress. As you see, Mason's just chilling here in the base. But yeah, so I think this is coming together very nicely. So we've already done 16 minutes of just talking this episode and showing you what's sort of been going on. So we are going to go and get some supplies, and we actually have a little idea for a little project here. Okay guys, so we are in a flower forest. As you can see, there's lots of flowers around us. And why are we in a flower forest, you ask? Because we want a flower farm. And the best place to build a flower farm is in a flower forest. That's just common sense. So we've started on the redstone here a little bit. Nothing too crazy so far. But basically what's going to happen is this is going to be our floor. So this is going to be where all our flowers grow. And underneath we have a dispenser and a dropper, an observer, into a repeater, into a comparator on subtract mode, and then 3 lines of redstone here with a solid block at the end. So basically how this farm is going to work, if you've never seen a flower farm before, basically this floor is going to be pushed from left to right or whichever way, but it's going to be pushed like this. Now every time this gets pushed, this is going to trigger this dispenser in the middle, which is going to be full of bone meal, and that's going to cause all the flowers to grow up here. So if we get a bit of bone meal, as you can see, all of this will grow, and that's just, and when the floor shifts, all of this will break. So it will mean that we get a lot of stuff for basically doing nothing. So we really want that. We want the dyes. We want to be able to just craft bone meal, and all of this stuff we can just put in composters and just get bone meal, and we'll get a 41% return on this farm, hopefully. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. We'll take it. So what we're going to need to do is get some more dirt and just sort of finish filling this in. Hello, Mr. Zombie. And then we can sort of just let that grow. Okay guys, so I've done a little bit of work off camera. Probably too much work off camera because the farm is essentially done. So I'm just going to run you through it. I did not design this farm. I got it off Silent Whisperer, who does very good tutorials. I'm sure you've already heard of him. And yeah, so this design, I haven't tested it yet. I've got some bone meal going in there, filling up nicely. So this is the sort of redstone to it. Now, I'm not going to sit and attempt to try and explain this, because quite honestly, I don't really understand it. But like I said, I haven't tested it either, so I'm hoping this is going to work. We do not want rabbits in here though. So the idea being is this chest and this chest is for collection. This chest in the middle is for bone meal, and that just very simply goes into a hopper line into the dropper over here. If I can get in here again. So that just goes into this dropper, which goes into a dispenser, which will then fuel this farm. We got a hopper clock here to do the timings. So we've actually got 34 items in here, and this should be our on switch. So we are going to move our scaffolding and put it over here so we can just see what's going on. We get a bit of a view, and we can set composters up and stuff like that as well if we need to, which we probably will, because it's the main reason I'm building this is for bone meal. But it would be nice to be able to get some dyes and stuff like that. So let's give this a little test run. So we flick that. I'm hoping the water goes away, because at the minute this isn't going very well. So I think how we fix that actually is if we get a button and place it here, that should fix the problem. So now if we start it again, there you go, this is how it should be working. So as you can see, all of that is making flowers, and then every so often here the farm will flush, and when it flushes, all of these items will get rinsed down into these chests down here. So we can adjust the timings and everything like that, but as you can see, there you go, everything gets dropped down into there, into the chests, and that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of troubleshooting. So I believe, I don't quite know what's happened then, because I was expecting one of them buckets to be empty. So I guess that made an infinite water source somehow, which is not supposed to happen. But we'll run the farm again and just sort of see what happens. Okay guys, so I think I have fixed the problem that we were having where it was leaving a water source behind. I am just going to turn this down just a little bit because it's quite noisy over here. But yeah, so basically this is working very well. We're getting lots and lots of goodies. Lots of flowers and seeds and stuff like that. And as you can see, that was the fix. So I've just got a dispenser once every third block instead of a complete line of 7. And that seems to fix the problem. Okay guys, so we have actually upgraded this a little bit and changed it and modified it a little bit more just to get us some bone meal. So I've actually just built this little AFK spot here. So if I come down here, I can show you what's sort of going on here. So what happens is we've got this side and this side feeding back into the machine, and then the outside chests here are what's getting us our bone meal, and as you can see it's working very well. And then we've got the same sort of setup on the other side, so lots and lots of bone meal. So what we're actually going to do now is go and check out the storage room, because I have been doing a lot of work to that off camera, and it's getting to a point now where it's pretty much finished. We just gotta, label the chests and stuff like that. But I actually swapped the floor out here to the nylium, and that basically is just a lot more efficient for getting bone meal because the drops are insane. So if I just run that quickly just to show you, you can see it is absolutely nuts how much drops you get from it. And it's working really well. So every couple seconds here it flushes the system, and then on the next flush these bits on the end here will get pushed in and collected into our system there. And then once you turn it off, all you have to do is just push this button, and that just flushes anything else that's in the farm off, and then you can hit the button again and it's all good to go. So that is essentially finished. I might tear this down and build it over at our new base over there, but I've kind of got an idea for a more efficient bone meal farm using the new moss block. So we might look into building that, but that won't be in today's episode because we are slowly but surely running out of time here. So we have made it back over to our house, and like I said, we are running super low on time. So we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what is going on in here. So obviously this beacon is not going to be sitting here forever, and this is going to be a nice little balcony bit. The idea being we can just sort of, as we're flying about and flying home, we can just sort of fly straight into our storage room here and drop off any items that we need. So the copper, I have just decided to put it all up and just let it oxidize up there. Just clears the floor out a bit and just shows me what room we're actually working with here. And I've actually got a little bit of junk that I can just drop off into our silos that we saw earlier in the episode. Now what we didn't see earlier in the episode is this up here. So we actually have a super smelter that actually has a fueling system as well. It's not automatic yet, like the fueling system we have to turn on and off manually. And we have Mason here giving us some honey. So that'll be useful, I'm sure, in a project in the future. Over here we've just got all our chests, which is where we're going to store everything. And for our super smelter, you just put any items in here that you want to smelt, and they all end up here. So I will show you quickly the redstone and stuff behind all of this, if I can get up there. So from the input chest, it just goes into a line of hoppers into one of our favourite little machines here. So that will just instantly fire them through the soul sand and up the item elevator. Then that will go all the way across this water tunnel here. So the item elevator is there, it will come all the way down into this hopper. Then we've got this little redstone contraption here that basically means when any item is in this hopper here, this will turn this torch on, which will activate this, which will stop the minecart. Now the minecart can still come up this way when the block is extended, but when it's extended it can't go back down, so that just sort of stops it there and allows it to fill up. Now this little system here with the items in the hopper there, that basically means that when this minecart with a chest is full, even if there's items in this hopper here, this will actually allow the block to retract and the minecart to go. Otherwise, if you put more than a chest worth of items in the input, this minecart's not going to move, it's just going to stay there, and your super smelter just won't work. So that's the sort of input system. I'm trying to run through this quite quickly because we are running really low on time here. But yeah, so then for the output, it's fairly simple. It's just hoppers underneath the furnaces that meet up in the middle here. So we've got this side pointing this way and this side here pointing this way, and they all point into a central hopper at the top here that goes straight down into our output chest. Sorry. Now the next bit to this is fuel. So we've got 32 furnaces there. Keeping them fueled up is quite a pain. So we've got two options here with this setup. So the first option being we have a chest here with a dropper, and we can fill this with coal, blaze rods, anything we want, even wood. Anything at all that we can use as fuel, we can stick in there. But this is mainly a overflow system for this machine here. So this machine is a design of Ethos Lab, and it's a bamboozler, and it creates bamboo like you would not believe. We had to do a little bit of a workaround with the redstone, just because we're on Bedrock and redstone works a little bit different. So it's a little bit bigger than his one, redstone wise. It's not as compact, but it works very well. So if we flick this lever here, as you can see, it will just make an absolute crap ton of bamboo. Then if I turn that off, as you can see at the minute, all the furnaces are full, so all the items are coming back up this bubble elevator and going into the overflow. And I've actually connected this to the same clock as the bamboozler, so even when this runs out of bamboo, we should have a backlog here, and this should still pump out, which will keep the furnaces running when we're smelting a large quantity of items. So the only next thing to do is to try and make it so that this is automatic, right? So when the furnaces are getting low on fuel, that this will turn on and refill them. and obviously when they're full, that this turns off and doesn't just keep creating bamboo until the point I can't store it. The other thing to do possibly over here is to build that bone meal moss farm we were talking about earlier, and basically connect it up to this chest, which is where we can deposit all of the bone meal, and this hopper minecart will just distribute it to all of our dispensers here and keep them nice and full and topped up, because this does use a shitload of bone meal. It is very crazy, but it works very well, so we're happy with that. And yeah, so this is our little super smelter system, and I'm very happy with it. It seems to work very well. It does 32 items every 10 seconds. So a normal furnace takes 10 seconds to smelt one item, and obviously we've got 32 of them. So, you know, we can do a stack of items in 20 seconds, which is absolutely crazy. The longest thing is actually waiting for the items to travel up this tunnel here and through that dropper system below. So this is actually the longest part of the system, is waiting for this to fill up. So if you put 5 stacks in here, it's going to take a while for the 5 stacks to come down and then fill up the minecart. So that's probably the only downside to this farm. Or this super smelter. But other than that, it seems to work very nicely. I'm very happy with that. And yeah, so I did this off camera because it was quite tricky and challenging. There was a lot of problem solving I had to do, and I've still got some more problem solving to do, I'm sure. But you know, I'm very happy with how it's going. I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's probably going to be the best storage room I have ever built personally. And yeah, so all we've got to do now with this room really is I want to hang some chandeliers, like maybe one big chandelier in the middle, I think would look quite nice. And obviously we've got the fun task of labeling our chests and actually essentially moving in. So move all our stuff organized into these chests here, and you know, we can actually start moving into this base and start getting some proper progress done. So that being said, guys, I'm going to have to end the episode here because we are running super overtime here. And yeah, so in the next episode, hopefully some of this roof will have changed to the turquoisey stuff, and hopefully we can get on to making some more farms. One thing I do need is an iron farm badly, because as you can see, all the hoppers up there, yeah, it used a lot. It used pretty much all my iron, so I have to go mining now and get some more. But if you did enjoy the episode, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. We shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.